Hey, welcome to episode 3 of Behind the Mix with the.amiimopps. Today we're going to be talking about Convulsion, coming up. Okay, welcome to episode 3. Today we're going to talk about Convulsion. Here's a little listen of it. So there's quite a bit going on in this song. So my friend Sosa played the chime part, so we used some actual chimes for that. So let's give that a little listen. Yeah, so a lot of stuff going on with the chimes. So a lot of reverb. Ended up using this dark abyss reverb, which sounded really cool, which is found a lot on this album. And then we have the little soundscape at the beginning, siren sound. We had some stream sound and some beach sound combined together. The stream is actually an iPhone recording. Let's see if I can find that. Here it is. There's two of them. So the guitar sounds are off the amp. The bass is just a bass DI with the amp simulator. And 50 million buses going on. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Okay, so for all of the guitar parts on this album and the next album, been using this PV3120 amp. So it's got the head and the cabinet. I'll probably make a whole video on miking the cab, so stay tuned for that. As far as amp settings for this song, I went for a fairly scooped middle sound, mid sound, because it's a rhythm part, and then a little bit of treble and a little bit of bass. Obviously for recording, the master volume is way louder than this, so definitely had some ear protection for that. Okay, so as far as part writing goes, on this song, I ended up writing the guitar parts first on MIDI. So I had to learn all the parts from the MIDI files, so that was pretty interesting. I chose E flat as a key because I like E flat, so I ended up just tuning this guitar string down to E flat, the bottom guitar string, and I ended up leaving the other strings the same, except for the verse and the chorus, because in order to play some of the chords I had to tune them down as well. But as far as the progression goes, because I wrote it on MIDI, I didn't take in account chord shaping, so definitely some interesting chords. As far as the intro goes, it's pretty easy. It's pretty much a vamp on E flat with a couple of cool stuff, so it's simple. And then for that part right before the verse comes in, I took that chord progression from the 1989 Batman film and the James Bond theme. So yeah, and then goes into the verse. Planning to do more of these part writing type segments in the videos, so stay tuned for that. Let's look at my friend Addison, his guitar solo. Solo that. So, I think the guitar he used for this was one of his Stratocasters. Pretty good solo. And then for the drum sound, I had my friend Paulo play drums on this, so he laid it down pretty good. Better than what I could have done. So, let's give that a listen. Kind of interesting drum sound. I came up with something pretty interesting here as far as the sonics of it go. So, definitely a lot of reverb on the drums. Also, I was still experimenting with a lot of different mics for that. So, it turned out alright, but the performance is pretty great, I will say. Definitely has the right feel and everything's right there, so. Let's see. Let's go to the verse, I guess.
He's losing pride, he's losing time. Just like that, his life rewinds. A year is gone, another fades. All his actions are erased. Living back the times he left, he searches for the death. But he's not the hero that you think. He's a boat about to sink, and he'll drag you down to.
Also, the vocals are going to 50 million different buses. So, wouldn't recommend. But that's what it came up with for this song. Definitely a learning curve for me on this one. But we ended up doubling Emily's voice on this. So she sang the same part twice. And then we got Arden to double her in, or I guess triple her in this instance, in the chorus. Because Emily couldn't reach some of those notes. Which is understandable. So that's pretty cool. As far as processing on the vocals, actually added some distortion to the vocal. Just to give it a little more fuzz, as you can see. Let's see. Yeah, other than that, not a whole lot going on. Still, this song was definitely a good learning curve for me. Turned out pretty good, I thought, but, you know, always learning. Let's go to Addison's second solo in the bridge, which is a pretty good one, I would say. Well, let's go to the build-up before then. Addison held a long note there for the transition into the bridge section. And then the chimes came in again, added effect. Then I had Sosa play some Glock parts here. Okay, so before we go on, there is a whole choir part that we did in a separate session, which I might bring up in a later video or something like that. But essentially, we just layered a whole bunch of vocal parts, so it's a lot of vocal parts. And then the bridge obviously goes to this heavier section with the drums and the bass and the guitar. Yeah, so obviously the build-up is pretty cool, and then back into the chorus. So that's pretty much the form of the song, and then there's this outro line, which Addison played some lines for that, so...
Sending was your legacy.
And then, like a lot of the songs, there's the cliffhanger ending. So, yep. And then at the end, there's just a fade out. So, that's the song. Pretty fun to put together. Definitely the most technically challenging to put together, I would say. So, that's that one. If you like what you've seen and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you have a comment or question, please leave it in the comment section and we'll get back to you. Thanks for watching.